Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. This time, we're going deeper than just genetics. We're talking
Oh,
epigenetics,
yeah.
and specifically how it impacts dermatology.
Yeah.
We've got this fascinating lecture.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Epigenetics and Dermatology, and
Yeah.
it is packed full of cool stuff about
Yeah.
how, like, what you eat or your stress levels, like,
Right.
all that stuff can change how your genes actually function,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
even in your skin.
It's an exciting field because it shows how your genes
Yeah.
aren't necessarily your destiny.
Right,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah.
So it's like this control panel. It's
Uh,
almost like a control panel for your genes,
exactly.
and it decides which ones are on or off.
That's right.
And that can be influenced by,
Yeah.
the environment, choices you make, all that.
Yeah. Your environment, your lifestyle choices.
Yeah, so it's not just what you inherit, but it's also how,
Uh-huh.
how your experiences actually interact with those genes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. You have the same blueprint, your DNA,
Right.
in every cell in your body.
Okay.
But your skin cells are different from your brain cells, right?
Sure.
Epigenetics helps explain how your body knows which genes to activate
Yeah.
in which cells,
Yeah.
creating this like
Yeah.
diversity.
Okay, so I'm starting to get that right, but
Yeah.
what does this actually look like?
Yeah.
What is happening at like the molecular level?
Well, there are several key mechanisms.
Okay.
One of the most important is DNA methylation.
Okay.
So imagine you have a light switch.
Right.
DNA methylation is like flipping that switch off.
So you're turning off a gene.
Exactly.
Got it.
It involves adding a tiny chemical tag
Okay.
called a methyl group
Mm-hmm.
to the DNA.
Yeah.
And this often silences the gene,
Okay.
preventing it from being expressed.
So like what I eat or
This means that
Yeah.
like your diet, your lifestyle choices, even your environment, they could be leaving chemical marks on your DNA,
That's amazing.
turning certain genes on or off.
So what we do, what we're exposed to, can modify our DNA.
In a way, yes.
Wow.
It's not changing the DNA sequence itself,
Yeah?
but it's changing how that sequence is read and used by the cell.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So is there like can you see this happening? Can scientists actually observe these
Absolutely. One of the classic examples is the agouti mouse.
Okay.
They have different coat colors.
Right.
And it turns out that those colors are directly linked
Okay.
to how a particular gene, the agouti gene, is
Um,
expressed.
So different coat colors mean different genes are
Right.
turned on or off.
Right. And here's the incredible part.
Okay.
A mother's diet during pregnancy
Yeah.
can actually change the coat color of her offspring.
Wait, so what a pregnant mouse eats
Yeah.
can affect the color of her babies?
Uh-huh.
How's that even possible?
It all comes down to DNA methylation.
Right.
That light switch we were talking about.
Right.
So in these agouti mice, a diet rich in things like folate and B vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
which can donate those methyl groups,
Okay.
leads to more brown offspring.
Mm-hmm.
This is because the agouti gene gets switched off
Got it.
or methylated.
So the brown mice have the gene turned off and the yellow mice have it turned on.
Precisely.
Okay.
And a diet low in those methyl-donating nutrients
Yeah.
leads to more yellow mice
Okay.
because the agouti gene stays active.
So a simple dietary change in the mother
Yeah.
is actually changing the gene expression in her pups.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
it is.
Are there other implications besides just coat color?
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The yellow mice aren't just a different color.
Right.
They're also predisposed to obesity,
Oh, wow.
diabetes,
Yeah.
and even cancer,
Really?
all because of this one gene being turned on.
So like a vitamin deficiency could actually increase the risk of these really serious diseases.
Mhm.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah,
But wait, does this apply to humans too?
it absolutely does.
Really?
While we're not changing our skin color based on what we eat,
Right.
we do share similar metabolic and epigenetic pathways
Okay.
with these mice.
So this fascinating story with the mice is just like
Yeah.
a glimpse into
It really highlights
the tower.
how much our environment and lifestyle can influence our health at a fundamental level.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
we inherit our genes,
Yeah.
but then what we do, our experiences,
Right.
can modify how those genes are expressed
Exactly.
through these epigenetic mechanisms.
And it's not just DNA methylation.
Oh,
There are other important players too, like histone modification.
okay.
Think of histones as spools
Yeah.
around which your DNA is wrapped.
Got it. I'm picturing it.
Yeah.
So what is histone modification? How does that play into all this?
So these histone proteins can be chemically modified,
Okay.
and those modifications can loosen or tighten.
Mm-hmm.
The DNA wrapping,
Oh, okay.
this in turn affects which genes are exposed
Okay.
and able to be read and expressed.
So it's like another layer
Right, yeah.
of control
Yeah.
on top of the DNA methylation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's also a fascinating group of molecules
Okay.
called microRNAs.
Okay.
Imagine these microRNAs as like tiny sensors
Okay.
that can block certain messages from getting through.
Okay.
Um, so this means they can effectively silence a gene
Wow.
and stop it from making its protein.
So they're like intercepting
Yeah.
the message before it can even be delivered
Exact.
and silencing the gene in
Yeah.
a different way than methylation.
Exactly.
Okay. And all of these mechanisms
Right.
are influenced by.
They're all influenced by our environment and lifestyles.
Hold on. So you're saying what I eat,
Yes.
how much stress I'm under,
Ah.
even like
The air you breathe.
the air I breathe can change how my genes are expressed.
That's right.
That's both amazing and a little unnerving.
It is remarkable.
Yeah.
And what's even more fascinating
Okay.
is that research suggests
Right.
that these epigenetic changes can be passed down to future generations.
Seriously. So like my lifestyle choices
Potentially.
could affect the health of my children and grandchildren.
There's evidence to suggest
Okay.
it's a real possibility.
Okay.
One study found that maternal behavior in rats
Mm-hmm.
could actually impact the stress response of their offspring,
Wow.
all through epigenetic mechanisms.
So we're not just talking about temporary changes here.
It's a complex picture.
This could be affecting our descendants.
It's a real possibility.
Wow.
The good news is
Uh,
the many epigenetic changes
Yeah.
are reversible.
Okay.
This is why understanding epigenetics is so exciting.
Right.
It opens up incredible opportunities
Yeah.
for new therapies and interventions.
So we could reverse some of these negative changes.
That's the hope,
Okay.
and prevent diseases.
Yeah.
And now, let's bring all of this incredible science down to earth,
Yeah.
literally,
Right.
and talk about how epigenetics is playing a starring role
Okay.
in dermatology.
All right, let's get into it. So how does all this fascinating science about gene expression play out in something as visible as our skin?
Well, remember how we were talking about epigenetics being like a control panel for our genes?
Uh-huh.
Well, imagine that control panel getting a little rusty or glitchy over time. That's kind of what happens with our skin as we age.
Okay, that makes sense. We all know our skin changes as we get older.
Right.
You know, we lose that youthful elasticity.
Yeah.
And the wrinkles start to appear. Maybe our pigmentation gets a bit uneven.
Right.
But are you saying those changes are driven by more than just time?
Exactly. Over time, those epigenetic changes start to accumulate in our skin cells.
Okay.
Things like UV radiation from the sun, pollution, even stress.
Right.
They can all trigger these changes that impact how our skin cells produce collagen, how well they repair damage, and even how they respond to inflammation.
You know, I've definitely noticed that my skin looks worse when I'm stressed.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing to think there's a real biological basis for that.
There is.
So basically, all those lifestyle choices, environmental factors can actually speed up or slow down
They can?
the aging process in our skin at like a cellular level.
You got it.
Wow.
And it's not just aging where epigenetics is making a splash.
Right.
It's also heavily involved in a whole range of skin conditions
Right.
that many people deal with.
Okay.
For example, let's talk about psoriasis.
Okay, right. Psoriasis, that's where you get those
Yes.
itchy, scaly patches of skin.
Yeah,
I've known people who really struggle with that.
it's tough.
What's the connection to epigenetics there?
Well, psoriasis is a chronic inflammatory condition, and research is showing that altered DNA methylation and microRNA expression
Okay.
are contributing to the abnormal immune responses in psoriasis.
So it's like our immune system is like mistakenly attacking our own skin.
It is.
And these epigenetic changes are somehow involved in that.
That's a great way to put it.
Miscommunication.
And it's not just psoriasis.
Okay.
Atopic dermatitis, also known as eczema,
Right, right.
is another common skin condition where epigenetics is thought to play a significant role.
I know a lot of people with eczema too.
It's very common.
How's epigenetics involved in that?
So with atopic dermatitis, those epigenetic factors are influencing inflammation
Mm-hmm.
and the skin's barrier function,
Okay.
making it more vulnerable to irritation and allergens.
So it's like those epigenetic changes are weakening the skin's defenses,
Yeah.
making it more sensitive to things in the environment.
And the more we learn about epigenetics, the
Yeah.
more we see how it's connected to so many different aspects of skin health.
Okay.
Take vitiligo, for instance.
Okay. Vitiligo. That's where the skin
That's where the skin loses pigment in patches.
loses pigment, right?
Right.
It's like your skin loses its color in certain areas.
Right. And there's growing evidence that epigenetic alterations might be contributing to the dysfunction
Okay.
of those pigment-producing cells called melanocytes.
Got it.
Epigenetics may even play a role in the autoimmune response
Wow.
that often accompanies vitiligo.
It's almost like epigenetics is a common thread running through all these different skin conditions.
It really is a fascinating field to study.
Yeah.
Because it's giving us a deeper understanding of these complex interactions.
Okay.
And perhaps one of the most important areas where epigenetics research is making waves
Yeah.
is in skin cancer.
Skin cancer? Yeah, I'm guessing there's a strong link there, too.
Absolutely,
Big
with
article
epigenetics.
field.
Epigenetic changes can actually silence
Wow.
those crucial tumor suppressor genes,
Right.
the ones that normally protect us from cancer. When those genes are turned off, it can pave the way for uncontrolled cell growth
Oh, wow.
and the development of skin cancer.
So in a way, these epigenetic mechanisms can be
Yeah.
a double-edged sword.
That's a great way to think about it.
Right, they can help protect our skin,
They can.
but also make us more vulnerable
Yes.
if things go wrong.
Even something as straightforward as wound healing,
Oh, okay.
how our skin repairs itself after an injury,
Mm-hmm.
is also influenced by the epigenetic regulation of certain genes.
Wow.
It's really quite remarkable how pervasive epigenetics is
Yeah.
when it comes to dermatology.
So knowing all this, what can we actually do with this information?
Right.
Is there a way to, like, harness the power of epigenetics?
That's the exciting part.
Yeah.
There are several promising avenues being explored right now
Okay.
that could change how we approach skin health in the future.
Okay.
One area that's generating a lot of buzz is the development of epigenetic drugs.
Epigenetic drugs. That
Okay.
sounds futuristic.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Scientists are hard at work developing drugs that can actually target
Okay.
specific epigenetic mechanisms.
Wow.
For instance, there are DNA methyltransferase inhibitors,
Okay.
which can prevent those methyl groups
Right.
from being added to DNA and silencing genes.
So they can prevent genes from being turned off inappropriately?
That's pretty incredible.
That is incredible, yeah.
It is, and there are also histone deacetylase inhibitors,
Okay.
which can affect how tightly DNA is wrapped around those histones,
Right.
influencing gene expression.
Okay.
One example is vorinostat,
Okay.
which is already approved for the treatment of cutaneous T-cell lymphoma,
Wow.
a type of skin cancer.
So we're already seeing real-world applications of this knowledge.
We are.
That's amazing.
And there are other areas where epigenetics is changing things in dermatology,
Okay, like what?
the field of personalized medicine.
Okay, personalized medicine. What does that look like in
Yeah.
the world of skin health?
Imagine being able to get your skin's unique epigenetic profile analyzed.
Oh.
From that information, a dermatologist could recommend treatments
Right.
or even skincare products tailored to your specific needs.
Okay, so no more guessing games with skincare.
Exactly.
You'd know exactly what your skin needs at the deepest level.
You would.
It would be like having a roadmap
You would.
for healthier skin.
And even the world of cosmetics is taking notice.
Really?
Companies are developing anti-aging products that target
Wow.
specific epigenetic pathways.
So it's not just about fancy ingredients anymore. It's about understanding the science
Yeah.
behind how those ingredients are interacting
Yeah.
with our skin at a genetic level.
At a deeper level.
Yeah, it's almost like we're moving from a superficial approach to skincare
Right.
to something much deeper
That's a great way to put it.
and more precise.
And there's more cutting-edge research on the horizon.
Oh, okay.
The world of RNA-based therapies is also being explored
Okay.
for dermatological applications.
Okay.
Scientists are looking at microRNA modulators,
Right.
which can either boost or block
Oh, okay.
the activity of those tiny microRNAs we talked about earlier.
Right.
They hold potential as treatments for inflammatory and autoimmune skin disorders.
So instead of just managing symptoms,
Right.
we could potentially treat those conditions
Mhm.
by addressing those underlying
Exactly.
epigenetic imbalances.
It's like getting to the root of the problem
Yeah,
rather than just putting a Band-Aid on it.
exactly.
And we're just at the beginning of what's possible.
Wow.
Researchers are working on using epigenetic markers as diagnostic tools
Oh, okay.
to identify skin diseases earlier.
So instead of relying on just a visual exam
Exactly.
or a biopsy, we could have like a a blood test or a skin swab
Potentially.
that could tell us
Yeah.
if someone's at risk for developing a
Right.
particular skin condition.
That would be incredible.
That would be incredible, especially for something like skin cancer.
Especially for skin cancer, yeah.
Early detection is so important.
Absolutely. And these markers could also help monitor
Oh, okay.
how well someone is responding to treatment,
Oh, wow.
giving us a better picture of what's happening at a cellular level.
It sounds like we're moving toward a much more personalized
Right.
and precise approach
Absolutely.
to dermatology, all thanks to this deeper understanding of epigenetics.
It is an exciting time to be involved in dermatology.
This is all so mind-blowing.
It is.
It's amazing to think how much progress is being made
I know.
in this field.
And the possibilities don't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Even gene editing technologies
Wow.
are being explored as a way to correct epigenetic abnormalities in the skin.
Oh, wow.
Imagine being able to actually rewrite the epigenetic code
Okay.
to prevent or even reverse diseases.
That is
It's like science fiction becoming reality.
next level stuff.
It is.
And I'm guessing stem cell therapy is also part of this exciting future
You bet.
for dermatology.
Scientists are exploring ways to epigenetically reprogram those powerful skin stem cells.
Okay.
This could lead to revolutionary treatments for things like scarring,
Right.
burns,
Wow.
and even aging itself.
That's amazing.
It's a bold vision,
Yeah.
but the research is showing us that it's within the realm of possibility.
This is all so incredible. It sounds like we're on the verge of a whole new era
We are?
in dermatology, all thanks to this deeper understanding of epigenetics.
That's right.
It's making me look at my skin in a whole new light.
I know.
Knowing all the intricate processes happening beneath the surface. Wow, it feels like we've gone on this incredible journey through the microscopic world of our skin today.
Yeah.
Uncovering all these secrets about how our genes and our environment work together.
It really highlights how dynamic and responsive our skin is.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here,
Uh-huh.
from those tiny methyl groups
Right?
to the potential of gene editing.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But for our listeners who are, trying to make sense of all this incredible science, what are the big takeaways here?
Well, I think the most important message is that skin health
Yeah.
isn't just about genetics.
Right.
It's heavily influenced by the choices we make every day,
Okay.
from what we eat to how we manage stress,
Right.
how much time we spend in the sun.
Yeah.
Our environment also plays a huge role.
So it's empowering in a way, right?
It is.
We're not just stuck with the skin we're born with.
Right.
We actually have more control
We do.
than we might think.
Yeah, by understanding how epigenetics works,
Right.
we can start to make more informed decisions about our lifestyle
Yeah.
and skincare routines.
It makes you realize that taking care of your skin is about so much more
It is.
than just the products you use.
Yes.
It's about taking care of your whole self.
Your whole self, exactly.
And it's not just about,
Right.
treating existing conditions. It's about
It's about preventing them in the first place.
preventing them.
Yeah.
This deep dive has definitely changed how I think about my skin.
Oh, good.
What's one final thought-provoking question you'd like to leave our listeners with today?
Well, knowing that things like diet, stress, and even exposure to sunlight
Yeah.
can impact your skin health through epigenetics,
Mm-hmm.
what changes might you consider making in your own life
Right.
to support healthier skin at the genetic level?
That's a great question. It really makes you stop and think
Yeah.
about all the different factors that are at play.
There are so many.
Yeah. I know I'm going to be way more diligent
Me too.
about wearing sunscreen,
Yeah.
managing stress from now on.
Right.
Who knew it could be so good for my skin?
It's all connected.
Yeah.
And the more we learn about these connections, the more
Yeah.
we can take charge of our well-being.
Well said. Thanks so much for taking us on this incredible deep dive
It's been my pleasure.
into the world of epigenetics and dermatology.
I'm always happy to share the wonders of science.
It's been truly eye-opening.
It is fascinating.
And to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.
Good advice.
The world of science is full of fascinating discoveries just waiting to be uncovered. Until next time, stay curious.